The reports that have been out there have been largely accurate, that Speaker Boehner and myself had been in a series of conversations about doing the biggest deal possible. I want to say I appreciate Speaker Boehner's good faith efforts. We have agreed to a series of spending cuts that will make the government leaner, meaner, more effective. That includes defense spending, that includes health spending, it includes some programs that I like very much. I think it would give the American people enormous confidence that this town can actually do something once in a while. If each side wants 100% of what its ideological predispositions are, then we can't get anything done. I'm happy to consider all options, all alternatives. The things that I will not consider are a 30-day or a 60-day or a 90-day or 180-day temporary stopgap resolution to this problem. We don't manage our affairs in 3-month increments. Imagine how these guys are going to be thinking 6 months from now in the middle of election season, when they're all up. Pull off the Band-Aid. Eat our peas. Now's the time to do it. If not now, when? I'm prepared to take on significant heat from my party to get something done. And I expect the other side should be willing to do the same thing if they mean what they say. I have bent over backwards to work with the Republicans to try to come up with a formulation that doesn't require them to vote sometime in the next month to increase taxes. I do not see a path to a deal if they don't budge, period. I think, depending on how you phrase the question, if you said to the American people, is it a good idea for the United States not to pay its bills and potentially create another recession, I feel pretty confident I can get a majority on my side on that one. Some of the professional politicians know better. And for them to say that we shouldn't be raising the debt ceiling is irresponsible. Because I'd rather be talking about stuff that everybody welcomes, like new programs or the NFL season getting resolved. Or I have a stake in John Boehner successfully persuading his caucus that this is the right thing to do, just like he has a stake in seeing me successfully persuading the Democratic Party. I think Speaker Boehner has been very sincere about trying to do something big. I think he'd like to do something big. His politics within his caucus are very difficult. And if you're a progressive who cares about the integrity of Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid, then we have an obligation to make sure that we make those changes that are required to make it sustainable over the long term. The reason to do Social Security is to strengthen Social Security to make sure that those benefits are there for seniors in the out years. I make no claims that somehow the position that Speaker Boehner and I discussed reflects 100% of what I want. But that's the point. The problem is that if you don't do the revenues, then to get the same amount of savings, you've got to have more cuts. If you don't have revenues, it means you are putting more of a burden on the people who can least afford it. And that's not fair. Sam Stein.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Our biggest priority as an administration is getting the economy back on track and putting people back to work. Economists are convinced that the steps we took in the Recovery Act saved millions of people their jobs. My strong preference would be for us to figure out ways that we can continue to provide help across the board. But I'm operating within some political constraints here, because whatever I do has to go through the House of Representatives. Among the options that are available to us is, for example, the payroll tax cut, unemployment benefits. Again, puts money in the pockets of folks who are out there, knocking on doors trying to find a job every day. I am not somebody who believes that just because we solve the deficit and debt problems short-term, medium-term, or long-term, that automatically solves the unemployment problem. I think we're still going to have to do a bunch of stuff. including, for example, trade deals that are before Congress right now. I might add, it is the primary solution that the Republicans have offered when it comes to jobs. They keep on going out there and saying, you know, Mr. President, what are you doing about jobs? So I say, okay, let's go. Where are they?
With respect to Social Security, like raising the retirement age, means testing, are those too big a chunk to budget?
I'm probably not going to get into the details, Sam, right now of negotiations. I might enjoy negotiating with you, but I don't know how much juice you've got in the Republican caucus. That's what I figured. My experience with John Boehner has been good. I think he's a good man who wants to do right by the country. The politics that swept him into the speakership were good for a midterm election. They're tough for governing. But the point is if everybody gets in the boat at the same time, it doesn't tip over.